Oh, kitty. Oh, kitty. Oh, kitty. Should we make some breakfast? What do you think? Should we make some breakfast? What do you think? Little doggy. I love you. I love you. Hello. How's it going? Shit. Ugh. That is a song. What's up? How goes it? Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. It's a very quiet Saturday. What's everybody doing today? Saturday afternoon. Excuse me, sir. Am I in your way? Little dog. Little dog. We are sitting at a truck stop in Texas. Yep. Pretty uneventful at the moment. Come here. Come here. Come here. Not a whole lot going on. We're in the middle of working on a, good morning. We're in the middle of working on a new contract. And in the meantime, while we wait for all that paperwork and what have you, we are gonna go do drop and hook. I will be doing pneumatic trailers. So something new. Something. Hello, sir. What do you mean? What tattoo do I have? I have a lot of tattoos. I don't understand what you're. I don't understand the question. You're interested in your CDL? Any advice? What do you mean? Like, pretty much everybody ends up starting out as a company driver unless you have a family member who was a truck driver and taught you how to drive, you know, and then you work for your own like for your family's company. But most people start as a company driver. So, oh shit. It's just everybody has to go to school these days. Oops. I only need one bowl, not two. You like my setup? It's a 70-inch bunk. It's a basic, like, I mean, it's a little bit bigger, but it's not one of those that has like the bathroom and all that. Figured I'd make some breakfast. Awesome. Cinnamon protein cereal. How long is schooling. It depends on what school you go to. Check your local, like community college. Oftentimes they have like CDL classes. So, and if you go through your local like community college, oftentimes you can get like a scholarship or a grant, or you know, however regular college works. So, and my biggest piece of advice is when you go to CDL school, pay the extra money and learn how to drive a manual. Yeah. Yes and no on the reset. Ooh, Australia's in the house. I have been working on getting a contract with a company to specifically haul for them. So I kind of have had some days off to try to work on that. And while I'm waiting for that to come in, next week I'm going to start doing some drop and hook trailers. They're going to be pneumatic trailers, just for something while I'm waiting on this contract. Support your truckers. Yeah. So that's kind of what we've been up to. Like, we've been working on getting contract work this week. So you just started as an owner operator a week ago, or your own authority, or, you know, what do you mean by that? Man, just living the trucker life. Having some breakfast. It's a little late for breakfast, but you know. Are you leased to a company, or do you have, like, do you have your own authority, or? Manual's not hard to learn. It is hard for a new MC. It's not hard to stay safe as a female truck driver as long as you are aware of your surroundings and you're conscientious of where you're stopping, etc., etc. It's no different than like being a female in town by yourself. You have to be aware of your surroundings, you know? Your uncle was a trucker? That's bad on him. Thank you. Where am I going? Right now, I don't have my IFTA stickers, which means I can't leave the state of Texas. My plates are in Texas, so I have to stay in Texas until I get my IFTA stickers. They should be in by the end of the month. I don't know the difference in the price when you're learning whether you learn automatic or manual, but if you learn manual, you have more options. Because if you learn automatic, you have a restriction. You can only ever drive an automatic truck. I don't really pay much attention to what these guys are doing out here. I kind of just do my own thing. I deserve to be here just as much as they do. And that's kind of how I deal with that. What do you mean, when am I getting dispatched? I don't understand. Like, I don't use a dispatcher. The work that we're going to go do, this drop and hook work, is somebody that we know, so we got in on that contract. 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday. Yep. So that's how we do that. You just grab a trailer, they load it there, then it's about 350-mile drive, drop it off, grab it empty. No, I don't have my own authority. I'm leased to somebody, but I run my own plate. So I paid for my own Texas apportion plate, and I set up my own Texas IFTA account. And ultimately, at the end of the day, I more or less am leased on so that I can put their numbers on my truck. But I do, like, I go where I want. If I'm going to use the broker boards, I book my own loads. I book and dispatch myself. I work on getting my own contracts. I pretty much am only leased on just so that I can have their numbers on my truck, and I don't have to go through the whole getting a new authority thing, because it's minimum 3 months. 6 months really is what most people want before they work with a new authority. And some companies, some people won't work with you until you have like a year or 18 months on your authority. So, oh, in America, you would not believe how many automatic restrictions there are. The majority of the drivers these days seem to have automatic restrictions on their license because it's cheaper. But I don't know why anybody would want to drive a fucking automatic truck to begin with. You don't have control of when it shifts. I'm single because I don't have time for bullshit. That's why I'm single. I'm too busy working. I'm too busy working and creating a life for myself that I want to live, that I ain't got time to let some bitch boy, because that's what the majority of men are today. 90% of the men today are nothing but bitch boys. I ain't got time for that shit. So I don't hate dispatchers. I don't hate them. The reason I dispatch myself is because if I take a shitty load, I'm not mad at anybody but myself. When I have a dispatcher, I always feel like, why'd they take this cheap load? Or if it's a tight time frame, I don't have anybody to be mad at but myself. You want me to just define bitch boy? Men who beg for attention. Men who do anything to make the woman happy. Like, men who wait for the women to hit on that. Like, it's so many women are like, I'm independent. I don't need a man. I don't need you to buy me drinks. Women do this shit. And so men sit around because they've learned that approaching women usually gets them shot down. So they just wait around for the women to come to them. And it's like, that's a bitch boy. Begging for attention. That's a bitch boy. Coming in my live and being like, ooh, do you want me? I could be your side man. That's a bitch boy. Like, men should be men. And I think all these men who have been emasculated and are at the whim of females, I think if all men just went back to being men, bitches would check their fucking attitude and stop treating you like shit. But that's just my opinion. No simps allowed here, right? I'm working on my business. I'm working on my truck. I'm working on my life. Like, I'm working on me. And I don't have time for any distractions. And so many men today are so fucking insecure and they need so much fucking validation. It's like, Jesus Christ, if I wanted a fucking kid, my kids are fucking grown. That's why I don't fuck around with that shit. Like, when my sons are more confident than the vast majority of the men in society today, I have a 2003 379 Peterbilt. I just said what I drive. Why would you ask me if that's a Freightliner? That's silly. I didn't cook anything. What you hear in the background is I have a fridge. And it's not like up against the wall, but there's not a lot of airflow back there. So I have a fan that blows on the condenser for the refrigerator in order to keep it cool so that I don't go through a refrigerator once a year. Yes, I got all the Peter I need. That's cute, right? I'm in a relationship with my truck and my trucking business, and it demands a very large majority of my time. A 24 Freightliner, home daily. Good for you. I hate being at home every day. It doesn't do anything for me. I legit, like, I've worked local, and I have a problem working 14 to 16 hours a day just to go home, take a shower, go to bed, and do it all over again. That's fucking bullshit. That's not a life. I have more of a life when I'm out on the road. I have more of a social life. When I'm at home, it feels like every day is Groundhog's Day. And I don't have any, it like literally sucks the life out of me. Good for you. You only work 5 hours a day. Congratulations. Oh, the haters are strong today, you guys. Woo! The jealousy is hardcore. Fuck, man. I ain't never seen a bunch of fucking bitch boys. This is exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. Ooh, goddamn. I don't have a fucking table. What are you talking about? You own your own business? What kind of business do you own? When you own a business, you don't have a whole lot of time to fuck around with anything. Oh my God. Ooh, thank you for the, oh, look at all them 100s. Aw, you're very kind. I appreciate you so much. Oh, I ignored him. I called them out on their shitty behavior, but, you know, yeah. There's a lot of haters, you know what though? If I didn't have haters, oh my goodness, look at all them 100s. You guys are awesome. If I didn't have haters, I would think I was doing something wrong. You know what I mean? Well, right now I'm getting ready to do drop and hook for some pneumatic trailers. Thank you for the thumbs up. But ideally, I'm working on a contract for step deck work. The only reason why people hate on other people is because they're doing something they can't. They're doing something that they weren't successful at, or they're doing something that they are too scared to fucking try themselves. I don't do reefer. Make a lot of money. Man, if you're working on yourself and you're focused on yourself, that doesn't make you a bitch boy. All I'm saying is, we know the bitch boys. Like, look at society. Look at how much men change themselves just to get a woman to like them. That's a bitch boy. A man does what a man has to do to take care of whatever it is that he's got to take care of. I do not have my own DOT numbers. I lease onto somebody. Clutch. Thank you. Is that from Joel? And it's not even a matter of a strong, independent person takes care of their own shit. And if somebody likes them, cool. And if somebody doesn't like them, they don't give a fuck. That's what I'm talking about. And I don't have time for people who aren't working on themselves. What's up, YouTube kid? I know the haters are crazy as fuck today, are they not? Shit. It's like I went live and the haters went, fuck yeah, dude, that's our mission today. Let's go fuck with her. Authentic to themselves. 100%. You're absolutely correct. Absolutely. Like, you should be able to work on yourself, know yourself, and be comfortable with yourself before you ever even think about fucking around with somebody else's life. No, I don't have a microwave in the truck. So, I don't have a microwave. I have a refrigerator and a freezer. And I have an air fryer and a coffee maker. Not everybody misses driving. I've tried to quit. Thank God I own my truck. And I don't have any payments. Your stickers finally arrived? Oh my God, it's been like a month. It's only like 65 today. Oh my gosh, you guys, the comments are coming in so fast. You can't play games. Yeah. Right. A lot of people don't understand trucking. Like, there's been so many times that I've told somebody, like, hey, let me call you back. And like 3 days go by and I'm like, shit, I'm sorry I didn't call you back yesterday. And they're like, it's been 3 days. I'm like, oh, where'd the time go? Because our days can be rather chaotic, you know? And most people don't understand that because they don't live the life. And I don't have time for the questions and the nagging and the bullshit. -4 in Wisconsin. You can keep that. That's the old thing where they said you could only have white sheets. I don't use brokers. And if I do, it's very few and far between. You don't have to have white sheets in your truck anymore. It used to be a thing. Not anymore. Golly. Christ almighty. I heard, I don't know if it's true, but they used to say that you had to have white sheets in case there was an accident. Like a fatality accident. My day is going well. It's a beautiful Saturday. The weather is nice. It is sunny. And yeah. So far it's a beautiful day. How much do I make? I make enough to maintain my business and pay the few personal bills that I have and have money in savings and save for the upgrades I want to do to my truck. I don't actually know the reason for the white sheets. That was just what I heard. I don't know if that's true. So, again, it's not something that they require anymore. And I think the only people who know the truth about it is like the real old school old timers, you know? Happy Saturday. The hate is strong in here today. I would like to say to all of them, though, thank you for showing up and thank you for commenting, because the more you comment, the more YouTube pushes me out to other people. So you're actually doing me a favor. I appreciate all of you, and I appreciate all your hate. Bring it on, bitches. Bring it on. Bring it on. You're my kitty. Meow. Wow. I'm telling you guys. You guys are wildly entertaining. I'm actually going to leave where I'm at tomorrow because I'm a little further north than I want to be. And it's going to be like 36 degrees tomorrow. You have one of the stickers on your favorite coffee cup, then 2 on your drink bottle. Awesome. No, I don't get lonely. Remember this. When you're alone, you're only lonely if you don't like the person you're alone with. If you don't like the thoughts in your head, that's when you get lonely. That's when you start looking for distractions. So, if you can't stand to be alone, that says more about you than anything. No, my cat does not go outside. That made no sense because you have no brain cells. But thanks for letting us all know that your level of intellect is below the average bear. Yes. Golly. Hi, Bubby. Puppy dog. I swear to God, today is Troll Saturday. Saturday? Yeah, Saturday. Today is Troll Saturday. Ain't no fucking way around. God damn. Yourself, dumbass. When you're alone with your fucking self. If you don't like your fucking self, let me break it down into layman's terms for the uneducated people in the comments. When you're alone, you're only lonely if you don't like the person you're alone with. Meaning, when you're alone, you're with yourself. You're the only one with you. If you don't fucking like yourself, that's when you're lonely. That's when you start looking for distractions and you start hanging out with other people to distract you from the thoughts in your head because you can't understand yourself. So, but that's just, you know, let me just dumb it down for the lack of intellect that is clearly in the live chat today. Golly, tell me you're uneducated without telling me. Oh my God, Jiminy Christmas. Yeah. I love my own company too. I literally sit in the quiet and I think about life. I think about things that are happening to me, ways that I've responded to things, and try to understand where I was at and like why I was responding that way, so that if it happens again, maybe I could be a little more in control of the situation. Like there's just a ton of things like that. And most people run from their own thoughts. They run from all of that and they try to flood it with music and TV and other people and distractions, because God forbid they fucking look in the mirror and go, I've been fucking up my own life and I need to fix it. Because it's easier to say it's his fault, it's her fault, it's their fault, it's not my fault, because God forbid anybody fucking admits that they're wrong. It is a great time to reflect and understand yourself. The more you understand yourself, the more you understand how to interact. You know what I mean? Do I have plans for Christmas? I'm going home. Grandpa passed in 2023. So I won't be seeing Grandpa. I'm going to go home for Mom. You love my little Christmas hat? Ho, 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 Merry Christmas. Yeah. My eyes are blue. Blue, blue. Blue, blue, blue. Not quite the same blue as my doggies, but they're blue. There's a little warm. Open a window. Bubby, Mommy opened a window. You know, I mean, if I literally sat here and tried to mute out all the haters, I wouldn't be able to interact with any of you. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. You're like, I have a bunch of little tiny Christmas hats like this. I think I have like 8 of them, 8 more of them at home. Why would I shave my cat? There's no reason. Her fur is beautiful. Dumbass, ask stupid questions, you get stupid answers. Yeah. I mean, whatever. It says more about them than it does about me. Gross. Why would I fuck you? Just because you have an outie and I have an innie, it doesn't mean that your outie goes in my innie. And just because you want to fuck somebody doesn't mean they want to fuck you. It's called consent. That's fucking disgusting. Absolutely fucking disgusting. That right there is the prime example of a fucking bitch boy. Real men don't talk to women like that. No pants. Oh. She's the original co-pilot. She's been with me for almost 7 years in the truck. Their hate is always self-projection. It is always deflection and projection. It is a prime example of what is missing or what is lacking in their life, and that's why they project it onto other people. Yeah. You're a good little meow pants. That's the meow meows. Hi, babies. You tell him. She just told the dog, you ain't allowed up here. Oh, there we go. He's got to go check out the window. Look. Yes, I drive a 2003 379 Peterbilt. He's on patrol. He's on patrol. Hello. Good afternoon. Hello. Happy Saturday. We are just sitting here in the truck stop, enjoying the beautiful weather. Yes, I own my own truck. It is payment free. We're gonna head south down towards like Waxahachie, Texas. It's gonna be a little bit warmer down there. He is always keeping me safe. Is there anything out there, bud? Is it safe? I'm in Texas. We are in Texas. How's the industry? It just depends on what you're doing. It depends on what you're hauling. It depends on, you know, what type of freight you're hauling, whether you're over the road, whether you're local, regional, etc., etc., etc. And again, how you manage your finances has a lot to do with how well your business goes. I don't know about the deaf. I don't run deaf. I have a pre-ELD truck, and so I have a 99 motor in my truck, and my truck does not have that deaf and shit like that. I would never buy one of those trucks. What time is it? It is 12:15, 12:16 here. It's bright and early Sunday morning down in New Zealand. No, I don't have a CD player in the truck. How much do you spend on maintenance for your truck? Just depends on what's wrong with it. Ideally, I try to do a lot of preventative maintenance before it's due so that we can minimize the actual breakdowns. Fuck yeah, they break down. I gotta do a transmission on my truck. Old trucks are easier to fix. So new trucks have warranties, we all know that. But they also have a ton of computers and sensors and electrical fucking components. And 99% of the time, as soon as you hit that 450,000 mark, when your warranty ends, that's when something major takes a shit. The new trucks are absolute fucking pieces of shit. They're garbage. The DEF system is garbage. All of it. How was it with 5F? What do you mean? Like when I was doing over the road with them? I fucking loved it. Old trucks. Oftentimes people run old trucks really hard and they don't necessarily keep up on the maintenance. So if you buy an old truck, you're gonna probably have quite a few things that you're gonna have to do. But like once you get that stuff done and you actually take care of it and you maintain it well, an old truck will take way better care of you than a new truck will. What do you mean, do you have recaps? Recap what? Recap logs? Recap tires? I don't do dry van. That's some of the cheapest freight out there is dry van freight. So I'm working on a contract for Step Deck. $450,000 miles on a semi truck is like a couple of years. You're thinking small potatoes. You're thinking like a car. My truck has over 1.5 million on it. Yeah, CDL. We were talking about CDL. I mean, on average, what most people run about 250,000 miles a year in semi. I am not famous. Not. Just a lady that happens to drive a semi truck. On Step Deck, you can haul a lot of stuff. You can haul equipment. You can haul vehicles. You can haul steel. I mean, you can haul oversize. Right now, I'm just in Texas because I'm waiting for my IFTA stickers. I don't drive. The cat drives. I just navigate. You know, the cat drives, the dog mans the pedals, and I navigate. How much? Well, the parts alone for transmission, if I do a 13 transmission and a clutch, will be about $6,000 just for parts. Yes, I have a house. I spend more time in my truck than I do at my house, but yes, I have a house. No, I mean, the truck currently has the factory 10, so when I go to make the change, I'm not going to get a core credit for the 10. There's no core on a 10. So I actually have to pay full price for the transmission that I get. Yep, the cat drives, the dog mans the pedals, and I navigate. Oh, okay. Ow, 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 ow. Okay. Go lay by the window then, ma'am. No, I do not do a show while I drive. You can't have my meow meow. She's the original co-pilot. She's been trucking for 7 years almost. There's my sweet, sweet baby. Ooh, you tell him. The dog got too close to her. Hi, Baba. Hi. I mean, hello, little dog. Boop. Boop. What are you doing, weirdo? What are you doing, weirdo? Are you ready for your close-up? The cat has a litter box. That's a ridiculous question. I have done some construction like rebar in Dallas, and it was absolutely shit-tastic. And it was shit-tastic enough for me to say I'm not doing that after a week. Because those construction sites in the city are not set up for my truck. The construction sites in the city are set up for more day cab trucks. So, they're a little bit tighter, a little bit harder to maneuver around. Hi, kitty. And I just wasn't interested in making my job harder than it needs to be. I do not go north in the winter. I have this theory. I have a very strong, if it's snowing, I'm not going. It's not a matter of improving your skills. It's a matter of not having room for the size truck that you drive. Yeah. And I just prefer not to fucking fuck up my shit. Of course. Exactly. Or run a newer truck. You know, the Aero trucks, the Cascadias and the Volvos and shit like that. They have shorter wheelbases. That's your life motto. If it's snowing, I ain't going. They don't pay good enough for me to go. To be honest with you. There's not enough money to get me to go. My safety and the safety of the other drivers on the highway is far more important to me than any dollar amount. And that's how I feel about it. I own the truck. I make the fucking rules, man. Exactly. But people who aren't owner operators or people who aren't truck drivers don't understand that. Because they don't have the freedom to make those decisions. Right. And I mean, I know people, I lived up north in Minnesota for 14 years, but I never drove in the snow, not even a car. Because I moved there from Arizona. I knew that I was not skilled enough. And I just opted to say, I'm not doing that, you know? And there are people that are skilled and they do that, and that's fine because they can do that. I don't need to do it. It's like when I was a company driver, when I very first started, they tried to make me drive at night. And it's like, yo, I can't stay awake at night. Like, my body's programmed to sleep at night and be awake during the day. I don't sleep during the day. So I'm not going to be rested to be able to stay awake all night. And as a company driver, they really, really try to force you to do shit that you're not comfortable doing. And I don't know. From the moment I started driving truck, I knew I wanted to own a truck. And I just put everything in motion in order to get myself on the track to where it is that I wanted to be. If that meant minimizing all of my household bills, you know, down to the absolute bare minimum so I could put all the money away that I needed to buy a truck, then that's what I was going to do. Like, I didn't have a car payment. I didn't have, you know, a boat payment, or I didn't have a bunch of payments. So my personal household bills were like $1,500. Everything else I made went into savings in order to purchase my truck. And I still don't have payments. I don't even own a car anymore. This is the only vehicle I own. This is my semi truck. Like, I just don't have a lot of payments because that takes away from what I can put towards my business, and that takes away from the success of my business. And in all honesty, for me, my kids are all grown. So all my focus goes to my business. So anybody who says it's easy is just trying to be a shithead and trying to get people fired up to get mad. They're just fucking trying to rage bait people, that's all, because they don't really have anything of quality or character to contribute. So, you know, they're easily triggered as well. So that's why they're trying to trigger other people. Cars are a waste of money. I don't really go anywhere. When I'm at home, I don't really go anywhere at all. Oftentimes I'll order my groceries delivered because I spend so much time in the truck. I spend a lot of time isolated. Like, yeah, I go inside the truck stop and, you know, I'll order food or, you know, whatever, get a shower, whatever the case is. So I do interact with the general public, but I interact with the general public on a much smaller basis. So you go into a Walmart and there's like 50 to a couple hundred people in there, depending on where you live and all of that. That's far more people than the maybe 5 or 10 people that are in the truck stop when I go inside. So it's like a much greater level of social interaction, and I'm like, ooh, it's way too people-y out here. You know what I mean? So for me, I just don't go anywhere when I'm at home. What do you mean step debt can be serious? Serious money? Can be. It can be considered slightly specialized. I mean, there's just a huge variety of stuff that you can do. It's the same as flatbed, basically. My youngest wants to drive. I'm doing all right. Doing all right. We're just hanging out here in the truck stop, sitting here. Chrome's keeping an eye out the window. He's being a good guard dog. I'm enjoying one of the last nice days. Tomorrow's gonna be cold as shit, so I think I'm gonna head south in the morning, get a little further south. It's not gonna be much warmer. It'll be about 10 degrees warmer, but yeah. It's not that trucking is good, and it's not that I opt out of regular life. I just really like trucking. I like the freedom to decide when I go, where I go, how much I get paid, how long I'm gone. I have control over all of it. So for me, it's like, it's the freedom. I don't have anybody calling me up. Where are you at? What are you doing? How come it's taking so long? I don't have that. As a company driver, you get that. As a company driver, everything is due yesterday. and they want it in 15 minutes even though you're 45 minutes to an hour out. If you get stuck in traffic as a company driver, they're calling you. How come you're not there yet? Well, motherfucker, there's an accident on the highway. You know, it's just all this shit, and it's not worth it. There is no amount of money in the world worth it to let somebody micromanage me. So I've actually learned how to function in the crazy chaos that is trucking. And when I'm at home, it feels like Groundhog's Day. It's the same day over and over and over again. Nothing changes. There's nothing exciting. Nothing ever happens. So it really takes a toll on me, because out here, how would you advise someone to get their CDL? Check with like your local community college, see if they offer classes. And my biggest recommendation is make sure that when you go to CDL school, you learn how to drive a manual, because it gives you more options. If you have an automatic restriction on your license, you will never be able to drive a manual until you retake the test in a manual and get the restriction removed from your license. So you might as well just do it the first time. Also, when you go through your community college, you can oftentimes get grants and stuff like that. He's laying in front of the driver's seat right now. I used to live in Arizona. Yes, they make automatic semi-trucks. And then when you, if you get your CDL, you could always start out local. And if you decide to go over the road, my biggest recommendation is try not to go with any of the mega carriers, because they treat you like garbage. So what? You went through Stevens Transport. I don't believe I don't have anything to do with mega carriers. I never have. I was a company driver for 2 years before I bought my truck, and the biggest company I worked at had 500 trucks, which isn't big in the trucking industry. You know, so my first company was 500 trucks, and then the next company I went to, I was their only over-the-road driver. JB Hunt is a mega carrier. JB Hunt, Swift, CR England, Knight, JB Hunt, Schneider, like CRST. Those are like, yeah. And those big companies, if you go work for them, they put you in a truck with a trainer who's probably been driving all of about 3 months. And that trainer has no business being a trainer, because they've only been driving for about 3 months. I'll tell you what, Barbie, I just don't pay attention to the childish people. Like, they are very unhappy. They maybe do lives and nobody shows up, or they're too scared to do a live, or, you know, whatever their reason is. And so they go in and they hate on people that they see doing things that either they want to do, they can't do, they're too scared to do, or they weren't successful at. Because people who are doing the things that they weren't successful at, are too scared to do, etc., are an absolute reflection of what their life could be like if they just fucking sucked it the fuck up and grew up and did it. That's basically what that means. How much money do you pull? It just depends on what you're doing. I make $200,000+ a year, depending. So anywhere from minimum is 200,000 up. I would never do Western Express. Welfare Express, that's what we call it. That's what we call it out here. Western Express is referred to by all of us drivers as Welfare Express. Trans Am, nope. Parking will always be a nightmare because of the ELDs. Yeah, look at their DOT number. But see, here's the thing is if most people don't understand or look at their SAFER score, most people don't even understand that. So it's hard. I would say look at where you live and look for a small company. Look for a small local company. Just start there. Because I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to get more experience backing when you're running local, because all those fucking places suck. They absolutely suck to back into. But you're going to get more experience for shitty places to back into. So, oh, it's snowing. Better you than me. It's nice and sunny here. Nice and sunny. We just chilling. We got the windows open in the bunk. Now I got both windows open. Your husband and you have considered it? I mean, I love it. You're either going to love being a truck driver or you're going to hate it. That's all there is to it. Because it's there's no really like middle ground. Like I absolutely hate local work. I won't do it. I won't do it. I absolutely hate it. Drives me crazy. So I do longer. There's more drive time, there's more freedom, there's less demand, there's, you know, less chaos. Like, yeah, there's traffic and there's backups at fuel islands, and yeah, you got to find places to park and all of that. But like there's a pickup time and there's a delivery time. And everything in between is at your freedom. Like I run paper logs, so I don't have a computer telling me like I have to be awake and drive at this time, you know, like that's how the ELD works. It doesn't matter if you're tired, or it doesn't matter if, you know, like if I'm tired, I just stop and take a nap. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. It's when it's time to sleep, it's time to sleep. And when it's time to be awake, I'm awake and I drive. So that's why I run paper logs, because I know when the fuck I'm tired. And I'm not gonna let some computer determine when I can and can't fucking make money because of some fucking stupid numbers fucking game. I mean, here's the best way to explain it. There's not a single person on the planet who sleeps perfectly sound every single fucking night of their life. There's not a single person on the planet who has not woken up tired for work the next day at some point in time in their life, right? But if you have an office job, or you're not a truck driver, you have any job other than, you know, say like heavy machinery or trucking, right? You have an office job, you work retail, you're a waitress, you're a bartender, whatever. When you get in your car and drive your car to work in the morning when you're tired, there's not as much of a risk of people dying, okay? Because you're not 80,000 pounds. And you go to your job in your office and you sit in your fucking office at your damn computer, nobody's gonna die if you fuck something up, right? Nobody's gonna die if you sell something to somebody for the wrong price. Nobody's gonna die if you mix their drink wrong. Like, do you see my point? Like, regular jobs, it is not life-threatening if you go to work tired. Our job is life-threatening to us and to the rest of the community on the road if we are tired. It is extremely important that we don't drive tired. Plain and simple. We're 80,000 fucking pounds going down the highway, and when you're tired, your reaction time is slower. Blah, blah, blah. There's a million fucking reasons. This is why I don't run an ELD. Because I sleep when I'm tired. And if I wake up and I have hours to run, I'm not going to get up and run. If I'm tired, I'm going to go back to sleep for a little bit. You know what I mean? Ooh, hot cocoa. Hot cocoa. I love Christmas. Thank you so much. So that's my perspective on ELDs and why I think that they are absolutely terrible. So I typically start my day early enough. I'll usually start as early as like 4 or 5 in the morning, depending on if it's summer or winter. Start a little later in the winter because the sun comes up a little bit later. But I'm always parked by 4 o'clock in the afternoon. If you want to find a park out here, you need to park around 3 or 4 in the afternoon to be guaranteed a park. The longer you go in the night, the harder it is to find a fucking park. So there's that too. Plus I have a hard time staying awake at night because I was designed to sleep during the day. My middle son, his dad, is an absolute nocturnal weirdo. He sleeps all day long, and he's always had jobs where he worked at night, so it always worked with his schedule. Some people do better at night. I don't. That's just me. It's actually a 10-hour mandatory break. Yep, a 10-hour rest. You can do an 8 and 2 or a 7 and 3. They've changed that. It's either 8 and 2 or a 7 and 3. You can now use your 30-minute rest break while you're fueling. You never used to be able to do that before. My motor is a 99. My truck is a 2003. She's licking the fur out of her stomach, as usual. Stop. She has anxiety and she licks her fur out of her stomach. So, yeah. We try to get her to stop. I don't remember. It's been a couple of years since it's changed. 12 hours on, 10 hours off. I don't know. I don't really actually have a problem managing logs, even though mine are paper. Like, I don't fudge them a bunch. I run a very particular way. So there's no reason why I should have to fudge my logs, or, you know what I mean? Like, I just find the work that allows me to work in the fashion that is best for me. Hell no, if it's snowing, I ain't going. I'm in Texas. Shit, I ain't going nowhere where it fucking snows. Fuck all that shit. No, she actually started that after we were in an accident. We had a breakdown. We were on the side of the highway, and CRST crossed over the white line and ran into the back of our trailer. And she was in the truck when it happened. And ever since then, it created an anxiety in her. So even when we're at home, she licks all of her fur out. So nice try though. But I've taken my cat to the vet. I'm aware of what's going on with her. What do you mean, what kind of insurance do I have? Yes, I'm a truck driver. Yes, I drive. Not currently, because I don't have my IFTA stickers. Once I have my IFTA stickers, I will leave the state of Texas. At the moment, I don't have them, so I can't leave. Why would I get rid of my cat? That's ridiculous. I mean, if you had a child, would you get rid of it? Just saying. And my animals are my children. You know, my dog has digestive health issues. And I make sure that I manage that because he didn't ask to be my dog. I picked him to be my dog, which means I'm the one who said, I'm going to give you the best quality life that I can. Yeah. There's the dog. There's the cats right behind him. They're my kids. Because my kids are grown and out of the motherfucking house. They're 30, 26, and 21. He's a boy. And old hairless over here is a girl. Aren't you a boy? You a good boy? Two German shepherds. Whoosh. He's a small dog. Would I ever do cement truck driving? Probably not, but I'm going to be pulling, they're called pneumatic trailers, so it's actually going to be like the powdered cement, taking it out to a job site. So we're doing drop and hook, so I'll grab a loaded, drive it 300 plus miles to the job site, drop it off, grab one of their empties, and bring it back to get it loaded. That's kind of going to be the circle that I'm doing until, while we wait for this contract to hopefully come through for Step Deck. You have a question. Is it an appropriate question? I'm 47.
Say a command.
Exit. Fucking Garmin. I'm 47. I'm an old lady. I'm almost a half a century old. I'm well aware that I'm old and it's okay. Don't tell me I'm not, because I'm not saying it so you guys will say that. I'm just telling you, generally speaking, when you're in your 20s, almost 50 is old. I don't know what the hell I would do if I ever quit trucking, because when I'm not driving, I'm not happy. I'm happiest when I'm in the truck. So what do I do in my off time? I go to the gym. I work out in the truck, actually. I have weights in the truck, so I work out in the truck when I'm not trucking. I have a refrigerator and a freezer so that I can keep plenty of healthy foods in the truck and maintain a healthier lifestyle. When I'm home, I go to the gym. When I'm in the truck, a little bit of limited space, but I still make it work. But this is generally the place that I'm the happiest. Not because there's any reason for me to be unhappy at home. I absolutely love being in the truck. I don't know, I got my license at 40. I've only been driving 7 years, almost 7 years. Do I stretch? Of course I do. You're still young. Buckle up, Buttercup. Man, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I am kind of like interested to turn 50. What in the world is that? What for? What is that? Gen X. Thank you. I appreciate you. CoverageX.com. Angel? Is that what that says? Yeah. I appreciate you. Thank you. Wow. I feel special. I feel so special. So special. God dang it. Yeah. Why don't you get your CDL? Local's way tough. Your mom's 40. She could still do this plus. I'm not that flexible. I don't work 70 hours a week. I refuse. I'm not quite 50. I'm close. I'm 47. But I am looking forward to turning 50. Like when people go, how old are you? I'll be able to go, I'm a half a century. You know? When you're, you know, when you get older like that, I think like your senior citizen discount kicks in at 55. You get AARP, that's discounts. Like nobody looks at like the benefits that come from getting old, you know? Well, the whole idea with getting older is becoming wiser. You're having trouble passing the written test. That's because they interchanged the term emergency brakes, trailer brakes. That was always my hang up, is they interchanged the terminology. Go online. If you're having trouble with your CDL written test, go to the app called DMV Genie and download the app and take the practice test for the CDL in the state in which you live. And there are 3 or 4 different versions, and you just take the test a bunch of times so that you understand the verbiage that they're using, and it will help you study that way. That's what I did. Old is relative. Yeah. I'm not obsessed with old. I just don't have a problem going, yeah, I'm old. I'm not 20 anymore, you know? I'm not 25. I'm not 30 or 35. I am post 40, pushing 50. And I love who I am as a human being. I love my thought process. Like, I look at life completely different at this point in my life. In trucking terms, what's dedicated. So basically this drop and hook work that I was just talking about, I'll be picking up south of Fort Worth and I'll be delivering out by Amarillo, doing the same thing all the time. That's a dedicated route. Whether it's 300 miles or 1,000 miles, dedicated route is picking up typically in the same places and delivering in the same places every week. I am not a big fish in a small pond. Not even close. Not even close. Nope, you can do a dedicated run that's even LTL. I knew a guy that used to load in Salt Lake, and he'd come down to Texas, and he'd start doing drops. He'd come to Texas and go over to Florida, start his drops in Florida, and on his way back, as he's dropping, he's also picking up to head back up to Salt Lake City. So they're usually multi-stops. You know, you got dedicated multi-stops, you got just dedicated single stops. Yeah, I know it gets icy up there. I'm not really looking forward to it. But I tend to watch the weather as well. Dedicated load. Don't. Oh, yeah, that means you can't load other things in the trailer. Because they want the trailer sealed, which means then the receiver is guaranteed that you haven't fucked with the load. I have no idea what it costs to get your CDL, because I got mine through FedEx Express when I worked there. They paid for it, not me. Go to your local community college and see if they offer courses and how much it costs. The trucking business, the industry is always better under Republican presidents. So, I bought my truck right as Biden took office, and it went from being good to being really difficult. And now it's getting better. What do average trucks make? It just depends on what they haul. Because every portion of this industry is different, whether it's tankered, hazmat, livestock, dry van, flatbed, step deck, oversized, local, regional, like everything's different. There's no average. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I've seen loads that'll pay me $4 to $4.50 a mile. And I've seen loads where they're like, all we have in it is $1.70 a mile. Bullshit, you fucking liars. So, yeah. You have to understand the business pretty well to really be able to negotiate with them if you do that. Like, I hate dealing with brokers for that reason. Step deck pays more. Well, it's not necessarily specialized. You have more versatility with a step deck. And you will go broke hauling cheap freight, and you will go broke if you sit, but you will go broke faster hauling cheap freight than if you sit and wait for a better load. No, I don't get lonely. I like being by myself, actually. Yes, I'm an owner-operator. I do not have my own DOT, but the company that I am leased to, I run my own plates by my choice. I run my own IFTA by my choice. I connect to try to get my own contracts. And if I have to do brokered loads, I book and dispatch myself. So basically, the company that I'm leased to, they just have their numbers on my truck and they cut me a check. That's how that works. We are all out of coffee. I don't get my own motor carrier number because the time frame from the time that you get your numbers, your authority doesn't mature until you put insurance on it. And you need to have insurance on your authority, typically bare minimum 3 months, preferably 6 months, and some places up to as much as 18 months before certain people will work with you. So that's a whole lot of money to be paying every month to not actually be able to get loads. If you're paying thousands of dollars a month in insurance for 3 months or 6 months before you can actually haul a load, like, it, I'm just not interested in that aspect of it right now. So that's part of the reason. Secondarily, I have found a place where I can run as if this is my own authority and they just write me checks. So why would I put out that extra money? Yes. The last time I checked for a brand new authority for your 1 million coverage auto cargo liability was like $3,000 a month. And your first 6 months is always the most expensive, of course, because it's a brand new authority. So yeah, you know, if you took away all the discounts that all these mega carriers had, tire discounts, maintenance discounts, vehicle purchase discounts, etc., they have tons, fuel discounts. If you took away all their discounts and you made them pay the same price that us single truck owner operators had to pay for everything, they'd fucking go broke in a heartbeat. That's a matter of choice. I don't have a lot of personal bills, so it's totally worth it to me. I don't have a very big overhead. Maybe like $2,000 a month is what I pay for my personal bills. And everything else goes to the truck. So it's really not that bad. I don't have a house payment, a car payment, a motorcycle payment, a boat payment, an RV payment, 3 kids, and a fucking wife to support. So that's why it's not that bad for me. I have a friend who has a wife and 3 kids, and he has a side-by-side, and he has 2 vehicle payments, and he makes it work. So, you know, to each their own. To each their own. Yes, I drive truck. I love being a truck driver. I love this job. There's nothing greater than like the amazing sunrises and sunsets that we see in different states, different cities, at different times of the year, because they're different everywhere you go. They're different at all the different times of the year. You work in the trades. That's a good job. That's a good job. I mean, you make it to journeyman, that's a really good job. You want a room, that there's not much to this room. I'm in my sleeper of my truck. There's the front of my truck. That's it. There's a ton of weirdos in my chat all the time. All the time. They come in here and they show themselves to be uneducated and socially awkward. I drive a 379. I drive a 2003 379 Peterbilt. My son said he was thinking about living in his car. My middle son. But he lives in Arizona, so it doesn't technically get that cold, you know? One of the last great dashes. I know, my friend was eyeballing my dash the other day. I was like, what the fuck are you looking at? And he goes, I just love that old school dash. 2 years. I had my CDL for 2 years. I was able to save enough money to put the down payment on my truck. My truck payment was $300 a week with 0% interest. And I paid my truck off in a year. No, I don't drive at night, so there's less likelihood of me hitting deer. You're a truck driver too? All the truck drivers are in the house tonight. Today, this afternoon. No, because I park my truck when I get tired and sleep like a normal person. There's not a load on this planet that is worth me risking my life for. I don't give a fuck how much it pays. If I'm tired, I'm pulling over and sleeping. Certified steering wheel holder. You can't ask that because everybody likes different kinds of food. You know, I'll eat barbecue. I don't particularly like it. My truck is registered in Texas. I'm in Texas and I am waiting for my IFTA stickers. So yeah. Full rates. I don't know. You never know. The rates usually go down and they usually bounce back a little bit. We'll just have to wait and see what happens. It's really hard to tell what rates are going to do next year because typically December's a rough month in trucking because a lot of places want to get the freight out of their facility for end of year inventory. And there's a lot of places that don't want to bring freight in because of end of year inventory. You follow? And then in January, freight is cheap as hell. Nobody's really moving anything. Same thing in February. So like the first quarter of the year is usually pretty shitty. Thank you for the floating heart. I appreciate you. So it's really hard to say what's going to happen in 2026 until sometime in March or April. To have a really good idea on what's going to happen. Ooh, thank you for the floating heart. I appreciate you. Do I ever take time off? Of course I do. Whenever the fuck I feel like it. Ooh, what is that? Is that a rose? A flower? What'd you say about the IFTA account? This is the first time you're using IFTA stickers. You can get 30-day temp. Right, but here's the thing. Is the 30-day temp, you have to get approved for your IFTA account first here in Texas. and then they will send me the sticker. And if I want to leave the state, I have to buy a permit. So if I want to go to Oklahoma, I have to buy a permit for Oklahoma. It's only good for 120 hours. If I want to go to New Mexico, I have to buy one for New Mexico. That's good for 120 hours. Every state that you enter into, you have to buy a permit for, and they're only good for 120 hours. And it gets to be real fucking expensive. So Texas is over 800 miles tall by 800 miles wide. So why wouldn't I just stay in Texas? It makes more sense. Thank you for all of the 100s. I appreciate you. I saw another, oh, the party hat came in. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. What do my knuckles say? They say, fucking truckin' with a unicorn. Yes, this is my first time applying for an IFTA account. I applied for my IFTA account, like, can't remember if it was a week or 2 weeks before Thanksgiving. So my IFTA stickers, they take 4 to 6 weeks for them to approve your account and mail your stickers to you. So I should have them by the end of this month, and then I can start going everywhere. Yeah. And I'd rather pay my own IFTA taxes, because the way I fuel, the places I fuel, and the way I track my fuel, I'm almost always guaranteed an IFTA sales tax return. And oftentimes, as an owner-operator, when you're leased onto a company and you run their IFTA stickers, if you get an IFTA tax return, they don't give it to you. And then they'll use the excuse of, well, you used our fuel card. Yeah, bitch, but you took it out of my fucking settlement, so I paid for it, so that's my fucking money. You know? So managing your own IFTA is really, really simple. Almost every single truck driver I know runs a GPS. In your GPS, there's an IFTA tab. You go to @fuel_pump under your IFTA tab. You put in the price of the fuel, the pump price. You put in the gallons, click save. Click on the truck stop you're at, click save. Now it's done tracked how many gallons you fueled and where you fueled them. And as long as that GPS is running, it tracks every mile that you drive. So under your IFTA tab, if you go to the jurisdiction summary and say go to like Q1 for whatever year, Q2, Q3, whatever, it'll show you every state that you've driven in, the amount of miles you've driven in that state, and the amount of gallons that you have fueled in that state. So all you have to do is take those numbers and then put them into the IFTA form and submit it. So it's not even a really difficult process. And if you fuel your truck properly, you shouldn't really have to owe IFTA sales tax. Like, I don't fuel in Oklahoma because Oklahoma doesn't charge IFTA tax. Yes, I will do my own filing for IFTA. I love trucking. You guys, it's Saturday. IFTA is the Interstate Fuel Tax, whatever, agency, whatever. The Jesus people are here. It's Saturday. It's not even Sunday. Jesus people are in the house. Just so you guys know. Yeah. Yes. Every state. So you file for your IFTA in whatever state that you're registered in, or whatever state that you have. Like, the company I work for is based out of Colorado, but I have my own plate. So I filed for my IFTA here in Texas. Now it allows me to run all the states. I just have to file every quarter. I also run my own plates because I was leased to more than one company in a year once, which means when you lease onto a company, you buy plates, right? So you pay for a full year of plates. If you leave that company, A, you have no fucking plate for your truck because they take it back. And B, if you lease to another company that year, you're now paying for plates again. So that's 2 sets of plates in 1 year. It just gets to be financially ridiculous. Why would you just hemorrhage money like that. It doesn't make any sense. Secondarily, by law, you're not supposed to move your truck without motherfucking plates. So why would you put yourself in a situation to be stranded without a plate? That's why I run my own plates. That's why I run my own IFTA. And if you fuel in a high IFTA fuel tax state, you're guaranteed a return. How many DOTs? I don't know. Yes, my plates are apportioned. I don't usually have a hard time with DOT. I don't usually have a hard time with police in general. I'm nice, I'm polite. Their job is to try to catch me. My job is to try to get away. Thank you for the 100. I appreciate you. They have a job to do. I have a job to do. I mean, it is what it is. Why would you be mad at them for doing their job? The shittier you are to them, the shittier they are to you. I promise you that. No, I don't have a get out of jail free card. I just try to follow the rules, man. That's how I am. It's like, okay, well, I'm not supposed to do this, so I'm really gonna try to just follow the fucking rules. I don't speed. If the fucking scale house says I have to go in, unfortunately I go in. I just want to give them less reasons to fuck with me. They do put their pants on the same way we do. The same way. It's like a cat and mouse game. We try to get away with shit that we're not supposed to do, right? We're like kids and they're like parents. That's all there is to it. Plain and simple. If it's your turn in the bucket to get fucked with, just suck it up, Buttercup. It's your turn in the bucket to get fucking bent over and shafted. It's just how it happens. If you have a shitty attitude, you're going to get shafted worse. Plain and simple. Yes, if you don't give them a reason, they won't fuck with you. Like I run paper logs, okay? We've already talked about this. I run paper logs. Now, I don't have a device that plugs into my truck, but you can run paper logs on an iPad through the any of those apps, right? You can still run your logs without it being plugged in. So you can do electronic paper is what they call it. Right there. See? I don't have a device plugged in, so I run paper. I can adjust any of my lines. Now, when they ask me for my logs and I hand that to them, they ask me, they're like, well, it looks like an old truck. Do you run paper? And I'm like, well, and they go, electronic paper? And I'm like, yep. And I hand it to them, and because it's not written on paper, they don't scrutinize it. I run that because I'm fucking a half-wit sometimes, and I'd fuck my numbers up and be off by 15 minutes, and they'd fucking nail my ass to the wall. So if I do it on there, my math is always fucking right. And it gives them less reason to scrutinize my logs because it looks more official to them and they don't fuck with it so much. I just email 7 days of logs to the company that I'm leased to so they have it on record. That's it. It's the Motive app. You do not have to have a device to run the Motive app. Do not. I've used TQL. TQL's trash. Everybody knows TQL is trash. So, you can make all the same adjustments on the Motive app like I run without, just like you can on paper. I go home about every 4 to 6 weeks. When I lived in Minnesota, I'd go home about every 4 to 6 months. So I go home a lot more now, but I go home to check on my mom. You have a 98 Classic. Right. Yeah, you can do it on your phone or on your iPad or whatever. Just download the Motive app and log in. And I put in our company's DOT number, and it sent a request to the company, and they approved it. Thank you for the 100. And then I just go in and I mean I do it exactly like you would say if you ran an ELD or whatever. Like when was the last day I drove? Shit. Friday? Yeah. See? It looks just like if it was actual ELD, but it's not. It's paper. I can go in and make all that off-duty time if I wanted, and nobody would know the difference. So when they look at it, they can see, you know, your drive time, your off-duty time. They can see all of that, and they don't have to try to read our chicken scratch handwriting. And so they question it a whole lot less. I won't go to California for that reason. I don't run DEF either. I'm a 99 motor, so yeah, I just don't go to California. I do need more tattoos. You're 1000% correct. I do. I use Motive. That's why I don't go to California. Too many regulations and too much traffic. I am not moving back to Minnesota. Fuck that. It's fucking cold as shit. Got one more try on your CDL? Oh, you could take that son of a bitch test as many times as you damn want. Yes, I'm a truck driver. I came from my mommy. I know a lot of people think I crawled out from under a rock, but I was actually a live mammal birth. I came from my mommy. Yeah. Yeah. I left Minnesota last year in January. Oh God, it was so fucking wonderful to leave there and not be fucking frozen solid. My truck doesn't like the cold. Like when I'm up north in the winter, the few times I've been up there, like my Jake brakes don't work, my cruise control doesn't work, and as soon as I start moving, as soon as I start getting further south where it's warmer, everything starts working again. So my truck doesn't even like the cold. Hey man, you ask a question, I gave an answer. They asked where I'm from. I came from my mama. Live mammal birth, yeah. I've been driving for almost 7 years. Almost 7 years. Still a rookie. I'll be a lifetime rookie. That's all there is to that. No way around it. You never know everything. And as soon as you do, you should hang up your goddamn keys because you got no business trucking anymore. You know? No, I do not parallel park the truck. If I go in somewhere and it's like curb parking only and you have to parallel, I'll just go somewhere else. I don't even try. I'm like, well, we'll just go somewhere else. It's a manual. I don't know why people ask. Why don't people just assume everybody drives a manual? I don't understand that. Like, why wouldn't you say, like, I don't know. I'm sitting in a truck stop just hanging out. My truck has over 1 million miles on it. I got the 1 million mile jacket from Caterpillar. Parallel parking was not on the CDL test. They taught us it in school, but it was not on the test. They taught us the serpentine as well, but that was not on the test either. That's because it's cheaper to learn how to drive an automatic. When you pay for schooling yourself, it is cheaper to pay for automatic than it is to pay for manual. So everybody's trying to do shit the cheap way, and what happens is you don't benefit yourself that way. Offset, yes. Alley dock and offset. And 90. I think it was 90. Oh, you gotta do parallel parking? Woo! Yes, I have a cat. That was rough. Oh, that was, I'm so glad I didn't have to do it. Because I won't use it. I won't go somewhere if I have to use it. Not happening. I'll just not go. I'll just go somewhere else. I honestly prefer to stay in rest areas over truck stops. Because rest areas, you pull in, right? And you pull out. And I typically try to stay like on this end, so when people are pulling out, they're not having to pull out around my truck. Or I will back up a little bit so that when they do pull out, there's less likelihood that they're gonna take my hood off. You like my little hat? Thanks. I don't particularly like truck stops because people can't back. I literally just posted a video the other day. I was doing a TikTok live and some asshole tried to back in next to me and he damn near took my fucking front fender off twice, and his fucking trainer was out there and his trainer wasn't doing shit. So in the video you hear me screaming at his trainer for being a shitty fucking trainer. No, because I'm short. There's no reason why I need a big tall shifter. I'm short. No, I have one dog and one cat. One dog and one cat. Kitty cat. She's clearly giving herself a bath. I did. I said, hey, watch your rookie, please. And then he got smart with me and I was like, I started screaming at him and I literally, and he didn't speak very good English. And I said, of course you don't fucking speak English. So it was a bit of a meltdown. I don't typically scream at people. Yeah. Actually, my cat is the original co-pilot. Mm-hmm. So, she's been with me the longest. He's only been in the truck 3 years. I don't dare claim to be able to outdrive motherfucking anybody. I mean, I'm that person where if I roll into a truck stop and I'm tired and there's one empty spot, if I can't totally get straight out in front of it and back into it, I'll leave. If I have to come in at like an angle and like curve back into it, I'll leave. I'll go somewhere else. Because when I'm tired like that, I'm more inclined to fuck something up, and I would rather just go somewhere else than fuck up somebody's shit while they're sleeping. But that's also just who I am. Yet another reason why I run paper logs. I was a city kid, I guess you could say. I was definitely not a farm kid. I was also very much nothing like I am now. Murder mittens and chrome. Yes, I prefer to do over the road. Currently, I'm waiting on IFTA stickers. And so I don't leave the state of Texas, but Texas is a ginormous state, so it's not really like it's that big of a deal. We do evolve over time, but I mean, let's just put it this way. When I was young, I was like crazy, like toxic crazy, like key your, like key your car, slash your tires, like bunny in the pot, fucking crazy. I was dramatically different than I am now. So the evolution has been a long process since I'm 47, but I'm definitely happier with who I am as a human being now than I was then. Yeah. No, I've not been to jail. I can drive anywhere I want to. It's both. My hat's really small and I have a big head. Mm-hmm. Does the Motive app, log app, help you how to fill it out? The very first time you use it, it does have like prompts and demos in it. I don't know if it does after you go through all that. Yes, my cat's a Russian blue. Fuck, I don't know. There's a help and support button. Yeah, there's a button for driver app. Certainly is. Look at you asking me all kinds of questions I don't know the answer to because I've been using Motive for the last 4 years. I don't use dispatchers. Knowledge? No. I wouldn't say that it's knowledgeable. I would just say it's, I'm constantly wanting to learn how to work on my truck, wanting to learn how to replace different parts, you know, learning different stuff about the business, like running my own plates, running my own IFTA. Like the more you know, the better you are. And as a truck driver, if you're an owner operator, it's a fucking business. It's an absolute business. And you have to run it like a business. Like if I just ran company plates and company IFTA and I was like, oh, I just drive the truck, like I'm giving so much money away to the company. It doesn't make sense. Like, why are you giving your profits away? Why are you giving away money that should be going to your company? You know, it's all expensive for sure. But it's another reason why I only use mechanics that I know. Like I really try to avoid, like I don't get shit. I barely trust Loves to change my oil, let alone tires or batteries or anything else. That is a kitty cat. So like I prefer to do my own oil changes, but I also don't go to Loves if I need an oil change because I don't trust them. I mean, Loves could fuck up a wet dream. Just saying. The more you know, the better off you are. That's how I feel. I mean, it's like $500 to change my own oil, or it's $500 to pay them to do it. You know, TA, Petro, whatever. So it's the same damn price. They fucked up an oil filter change for you. See what I'm saying? Yep. Exactly. I grease my own truck because I know it's done right. When I have my oil changed, I make them jack up the front of the truck when they grease it so that you can get grease into the kingpins. And I can't tell you how many times the mechanics have looked at me and gone, why do you do that? Well, you're not getting any grease into the kingpins with pressure on the tires. Duh. I thought you were a mechanic. I've had them tell me they have to charge me to jack up my truck to grease the kingpins. I've gotten in arguments with them about it. So, yeah. What the fuck is a CPC test? I have to do my medical card every 2 years. No, they do not. Quarts of oil. I don't fucking know. Mine holds like 10 gallons, however many quarts that is. Yeah. She has food. It's up on her cubby. What are you doing, kitty? Come here. Come here, ma'am. No? Okay. Remember my wallet. I know. So now we just don't leave until mom's up so that mom can make sure that I have everything that I need, you know? No. I was given a medical card for 2 years because I have no medical issues. When you have medical issues, they make you go more frequently. So there's that. Oh, 40 quarts. Well, look at you. Teach me something new. I guess 4 quarts to a gallon. You're right, there's 4 quarts to a gallon. Yes, I'm a truck driver. Hello, kitty pants. Hello, kitty pants. Oh, hello. Hello, ma'am. Meow. 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 Oh, it's an England thing. Okay, European thing. Gotcha. Ours is like a medical card. We have to do it every 2 years. It might be similar. I don't know. Again, the laws are different in different countries. So, depends on the driver's health. Yes, yes. I knew somebody that got their medical card for 6 months and then went back and then they issued it to him for 2 years. Hi, kitty. Hi. It's a money grab. Probably. Kitty. See, look, she licks her tummy bald. Kitty. No, I'm not in Houston. All right. Shoo, crabby ass. She's like 10 years old. Yes, I eat healthy. I have a fridge and a freezer in the truck. I actually currently have some venison stew in my truck. I have a friend that lives up here where I'm at, and he brought me like 3 big containers of venison stew. Oh my God, it's so good. And then he gave me some summer sausage, you know, like the Hickory Farms type stuff, but it's goose. And then he gave me 2 packages of the beef snack sticks that are venison as well. And he gave me 2 jars of homemade jalapeno strawberry jelly. So, yeah, I got the mad hookup. It just depends on if they're company drivers, owner operators. It depends on what kind of freight you haul. I don't know for local work. I've always had trouble getting out of Arizona when I hauled the dry van. Like I always had to book my loads a week or 2 in advance to get anything that paid good. And when I say paid good, I mean like $2 a mile at the time was the best I could get. Kitty, why is your little face dirty? You got sleepies in your eye, kitty. I'm 47. What do you mean owner operator? Company driver or owner operator. That's pretty much what there is. I mean, there's like lease purchase drivers, but that's just a scam to steal your money. Ultimately, at the end of the day, it's either owner operator or company driver. There's always creeps in here. What are you talking about? It just depends on what kind of freight you haul. Like, oversized pays really well. but there's a whole lot of expenses that come with doing oversize as well. So like while the load might pay $10,000, you got to buy permits, and you got to buy a pilot car, and you can only run during the day, from sun up to sundown, and certain states you can't run on Sunday, and you know what I mean? So it just, you can't say truck drivers make this much. There is no, this is the average. And most truck drivers will tell you, well, I make this much. Truck drivers are known for inflating their stories to sound bigger and better than they're supposed to be. And so when you ask me, I'm going to tell you the truth. It just depends on what you haul. I could make as little as $3,000 a week as an owner operator, or I could make $6,000. If the market was really good, I could make 8 or 10. I mean, it just depends on what you're hauling. You want to do oversize. I mean, kudos to you. Kudos to you. I don't have any desire to do that. None whatsoever. I'm just a big old fearedy cat. That's why. Are you happy, kitty? Hello, hello, hello. $3,000 a week, it just depends on how far you're driving, too. I mean, 4 to 6 is fairly ideal. You know, if you're taking home after fuel $4,000 to $5,000 a week, that's pretty good. So, no. You could make as low as $3,000 a week before expenses, before fuel and payments and shit. So again, it just depends on what you haul. It depends on how hard you run and how much money you need to make. If you need to make a lot of money, people tend to run a little bit harder. So yeah. No, I don't live in my truck. I have a house. I just spend more time in my truck than I do at home. I mean, I did just spend like 5 straight months at home, so I'm okay being back in the truck. Trust me. Nope, not going to Minnesota. No fucking way. Yes, ma'am. Hello. Yeah. Potentially. I mean, if you're running the areas where the freight's paying, if you're trying to come out of Arizona, you're probably not going to regularly make that coming out of Arizona in a dry van. Because apparently the people in Arizona seem to think it's the 1980s. I have a 2003 379. She's a good kitty. What are you doing? Weirdo. Bulk dog food. I don't know. I don't keep track of it. I need to get back to Arizona too. That's where my middle son lives. I need to go visit him. Hi, kitty. Are you happy now? Oh, comfy? Oh, comfy? Oh, comfy kitty? No, I don't. I got the dog and I got the cat. I'm never alone. Not going to New York. Don't do the Northeast. So, A word of advice for beginners. Know your limits and your boundaries and don't let them push you. Don't let them make you do something you're not comfortable doing. If you're not comfortable driving at night, don't drive at night. That's a good thing we're not in India. I have my fur babies. I'm never alone. They're the best kids on the planet. Aren't they? Yes. They're the best kids. The best kids. I don't drive at night. I don't drive when I'm tired either. My truck, my rules. My life is not worth the cost of any load. Her name is Meow Meow. Hi, kitty. What do I do for fun? I go to the gym. Yeah. I do need to get off here, though. You gotta take the dog out. You gotta go pee-pee? Yep, see? It's pee-pee time, he said. So I gotta get off of here. I will chat with you guys next week, Saturday at noon. Everybody take care. Thanks for hanging out with me. Have a great week. And we'll update you next week on how all this fucking crazy ass drop and hook shit goes. Ooh, that was my chest. Did you hear that? Snap, crackle, pop. Have a great day, guys.